everyone. Welcome to COVID Conversations. I'm so excited to global citizen Leslie Odom Jr. He's got a new album out for Christmas. If you're like me, in my house, my kids are literally playing Christmas right now. And we're waiting for Leslie Odom to come on. We were texting a few minutes ago. He's got so much going on right now. In the midst of COVID, he came out with a Christmas album. So his creativity is moving. And not only that, he's got a new movie out that the great Regina King directed, her first directorial debut. This movie is everything. It's called One Night in Miami. Leslie gave me the movie to watch, and I watched it. It is amazing. We're going to talk to Leslie Odom in a minute. It's just everything. And Leslie is getting ready to be a new father. He is just doing the daggone thing. And I've got people, he's going to be a new father. He's got another baby coming. And I also got word, some people are thinking that he's on The Masked Singer. Let's find out. Let me see. Now, Leslie, I'm waiting for you, boo-boo. So we're waiting for Leslie to come on in, and let me see. We may have to call Leslie, guys. We may have to call Leslie. Guys, go upstairs and go get mommy her iPod Pro real quick. So we may have my iPad Pro, whatever. We may have to call Leslie, but he knows we're going to be on at 6 o'clock. But guys, I'm excited. I'm so excited to have Leslie Odom Jr. on. He is everything. I mean, we've seen him all over the place. He was in Harriet, right? He was amazing in Harriet. And of course, he was Aaron Burr in Hamilton. He is everything. I love Broadway. My kids turned me on to Leslie Odom Jr. And this whole family is in love with Leslie Odom Jr. He can do nothing wrong. Thank you, guys. I'm trying to change it up because we've got a change is on its way. So let me see. Where is Mr. Leslie Odom Jr.? We were texting earlier, guys. I bet you he's here. And Leslie, if you're on here, you better follow me so I can find you on here. You gotta follow me, Leslie. I can't see you. Let me see. Let me reach out to Leslie Odom Jr. My kids are here literally waiting. They're at my feet waiting. So I'm glad you like the look. Let me see. That's not him. Let's go get him. Here's what I want you guys to do. I don't have to search. We're on live. Go get me the house phone. Oh, here's the house phone. I still have a house phone for times like this. Let me go here and call Leslie. He said my time. What is his time? Hello, everyone. Let's see if that's Leslie. There we go. I was talking bad about you. We played your whole Christmas song. And
come on, I'm right here. Come on now. You about to call me on the house phone?
How are you?
I'm good. You about to call me on the house phone.
Jr., everyone. Go run, tell everybody. Hi, twin. Thank you. Go run, tell everyone that we have the great Leslie Odom Jr., the man that people surmise is the mushroom on The Masked Singer. Let's get this out. Let's get this out the way.
They thought I was
the mushroom or not.
Listen, they thought I was the serpent. Now they think I'm the mushroom. Listen, I'm not giving nothing away. What I've been telling people is to go stream Cold by Leslie Odom Jr. and Sia. Go stream Cold by Leslie Odom Jr. and Sia. That's all I'm gonna say about the mushroom and the serpent.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this to you. I am not, because I am all politics and I'm such a political nerd. I see it and I gotta run, because some of my favorite people have been on. Patti LaBelle I've missed, Dionne Warwick, Gladys Knight, a lot of people have been on. And my cousin, who is dealing with race in America, who is the national vice chair of the board of the NAACP, she's on the daggone national board. She says, girl, he's the mushroom. I said, she's dealing with race and racial reckoning, but she can tell that you are the mushroom. You have a distinctive voice. So
the mushroom, listen, it's nice to be thought of at all. What's really interesting, I'll say too, I was sitting at home when everybody thought when a lot of people thought I was the serpent, and we were seeing like just, hundreds of tweets and messages and stuff. And I was just like, I can't believe that, you know, because I grew up singing in I grew up like singing on a karaoke machine in my parents' basement. Like I just can't believe that, like that, that
Someone said
enough that,
Jordan is Fisher. Somebody said, I believe Jordan is Fisher.
okay, but
Jordan
that
Fisher.
enough people would know my name and know my voice enough to even think that
Oh, your
it's just
voice is
crazy.
all that. Your
It's
voice.
just crazy.
And you have such a range. It's so crazy. Your voice is just amazing. But first of all, thank you for taking time out
Of
in
course.
your creative moment, for one, being a friend, accepting my text messages and not thinking I'm a crazy stalker fan. And
I'm a fan. You know I'm a fan too. I'm a fan.
well, it's a mutual admiration society here. And the reason why I'm a huge fan, because you remember my children, come here, they're here.
You
They
know I
came.
do.
Yes, come here, Ryan and Grace. Come on, say hi. Say hi.
Even though I'm super tall and I can't see.
So you have to bend down. Say hi. All right, it's
Good to
children's time.
see
That's
you.
Gracie and Ryan.
I'm Ryan. I'm the tall one.
He's met you before.
I introduced them all to you.
Okay,
Actually,
now
she
leave.
did
Now
not.
leave. Now this is my show. So anyway, so
Pretty
I
kids.
love my
Them some
baby.
pretty babies.
Thank you. The youngest one, the 13-year-old, I don't know what she's doing with her makeup, but that's a whole. She's being creative, but that's a whole. Let them express themselves.
That's
Bye.
right.
She's the one playing Christmas music. And you know what? She said, Mommy, I'm listening to all of his Christmas music now. We have been, and you know, from your last Christmas album, Favorite Things, it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, and now it's like you do Oh Holy Night. You do a lot. And you got that one song that I'm losing my mind over. And we're going to get to that in a moment. But that one song that he's going to sing, I'm like, I want to be in love. You know, I want to feel something. Right? It's like,
Hey,
that
I'm
song
trying to feel something.
It's like,
Yeah.
what was your inspiration? Because was that an original song? Did you write that yourself?
Yes.
And your wife was your inspiration, your pregnant wife.
Was. Yeah. She was not pregnant when I wrote that song, but I had written in my journal that day, and my journal meaning just my phone. Like I keep a, running log whenever I'm in writing mode. And I wrote down, I held the young woman, I hold you now, I'll hold the old woman. Anyway, and I was just thinking about like in time, like when I've been with my wife now for 12 years, and present always is the girl that I met, because I met my wife when she was a girl, essentially. You know what I mean? Like that young woman is present, who she's gonna be as an old woman, God willing, if we're lucky enough to still be together, still.
You will.
You
will.
Amen. But that kind of when you're with somebody in a moment, you're with all of them. You're with their past, you're with their future. Anyway, so that got it started, and then the song is really about the craft of the father. It was like I was thinking about being in the room for the birth of my daughter, and how at that moment we're all Joseph. All men are just, we have to witness the strength and the grace and the beauty of a woman. We really have no, there's
Women
nothing
bear
we.
it all, and then a woman comes as close to death as she can get in pregnancy, delivering, birth delivery.
Yes.
It changes your body. And you know what? And I'm so thankful that you recognize that and you give your wife all of this. I mean, and just watching your photos and things, both of you together and your family, watching your family expand. I love the love that I see. And, I think about, I love how John Legend loves his wife as well. And we've been watching that, publicly. And I just think it's men. Hello, women do more than cook and clean. We need y'all to love us a little bit more.
Yeah, amen.
Take a look at Leslie Odom's pictures. I'm telling you, there's something on his Instagram. So Leslie, COVID hit.
Yeah.
So before COVID, you were busy because like COVID really hit us in March. We started really hearing about it in March. We were hearing it at the White House, last year, but you know how that goes. Anyway, but so before it hit in March, you were working with the great directress, first directing project, Regina King, that little girl who was 227, now doing the damn thing, acting, directing, producing, Regina King. And you were you're in a movie called what? One Night in Miami?
That's right.
So tell me about that. How did all of that come to be as we were hearing signs of something's going on, something's going on. How did you guys finish this masterful movie that fast?
Yeah, we were in New Orleans shooting January and February, and then we had 2 days of shooting in LA because there was this one moment that they really couldn't find a location that they liked in New Orleans. So we shot this whole film. We were done middle of February, and then COVID happens, and so we couldn't get these final 2 days of shooting. So we had to wait. I think we got them. We ended up getting them in June, just those final 2 days of shooting. But it's a beautiful movie. Tells the true story about Cassius Clay, his first heavyweight championship bout in Miami, 1964. Nobody expects Cassius to win this fight except Cassius, of course. And so there's no victory party planned. It's an upset. Young 22-year-old Cassius Clay beats Sonny Liston. And so he spent the evening hanging out in a hotel room with his friends who just happened to be Jim Brown, Sam Cooke, and Malcolm X.
Yeah. So guys, this movie, Leslie and I were talking today. We were texting and he was telling me about it. I said, let me see the movie. I literally just finished it like 15 minutes before we got on. And all I'm going to say is I'm on the floor. You were Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
And listening to you, your voice has so many different ranges. Your voice is so clean and so beautiful. But you do Sam Cooke like, I'm like, oh my God. I was tearing up at the end, okay?
Yeah.
I was tearing up in how Sam Cooke. Okay, so guys, without giving it all away, the movie to me was about, it was this moment. It was Black leaders who are in different parts of the spectrum, the socioeconomic spectrum, coming to terms collectively with matters of race and coming to terms individually with matters of race.
That's
Jim
right.
Brown, he's the only one that's alive out of that group.
Yeah.
And he was just in the White House with Donald Trump. I was like, oh my God. I was thinking about, I was thinking about that. It's real.
You never know.
Right?
You never know where people are going to go, right?
Exactly. He was there with Kanye, but there's a whole other story. But it doesn't negate who he is to history and what he tried to do for Black America. And then I think about Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay. He was Cassius Clay, floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee.
Yeah.
And coming to terms with who he was as not just a Black man, but someone really finding who he was under Malcolm X, who was transitioning out of the nation. Guys, you do not want to miss this movie. And Sam, because you made me mad, because you know I love you. You made me mad in Hamilton because you shot. Everybody's seen Hamilton now. You shot Leslie Odom, you were Aaron Burr, and you shot Lin-Manuel Miranda. They took the bullet with. Anyway, but you played a guy who had to come to terms with himself. You played someone real, Sam Cooke. And you made us see Sam Cooke being in that first scene. I was like, oh, I get you. You want to be liked by the white people. You're trying so hard. Am I right? You were trying so hard to assimilate and be in that next league.
Sam was a businessman, and Sam made calculations. He made the calculations of a businessman. And that's what Malcolm is calling him to the carpet about. It's about what have you sacrificed? What concessions have you made to build this business? And Sam's, I won't give anything away either, but we leave it up to the audience to decide who made a bigger impact and why. But Kemp Powers wrote this script, and what was really important to all of us was to make sure that these legends were represented, that their hearts and their truths were represented. And I think Sam makes a real case for himself, but it does make me sad a little bit that my brother, my uncle, my teacher, Sam Cooke, that he did leave so much of himself at the door. That was the time, though, that he had to leave so much of himself at the door to entertain these all-white audiences at the Copa. And
who walked out on him, who him like a Negro.
After all that he'd achieved, all that that he was a superstar to us. But at the Copa, he was still, unproven. This is after,
the Negro who, how dare he?
his first single, you know, "You Send Me," is a major monster hit of the day. That man wrote, that brother wrote that song. That still today sounds fresh. If I could write a "You Send Me," I'd be set for life.
You
But
can
you know,
sing that to your wife.
okay.
That song is still everything.
But he
Darling,
shows up at the Copa, and they, you know, and they, you know, he's unproven until he proves something to them, and he bombs at the Copa the first time, and it really bothered him. Now listen, that meant because he was brilliant, he went back and got all his things. Like, he went back to the Copa and got all the recognition that he deserved. But it made me sad that he, even for a moment, wasn't appreciated, because he's a genius.
and you know what's interesting is before I even saw the movie, I said to you, I said, was this about the tension between Ali and Malcolm X? And you
Malcolm,
were like,
yeah.
it was the beginning. But it's not only, but this movie exposed so much. It wasn't just tension with Malcolm X and, well, Muhammad and Malcolm, but it was Sam Cooke and Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Guys, you got to watch it. All I can say is, a student of history and someone who is standing on the shoulders of what all of these people did, being able to be at the White House and question presidents. January 13th will be 24 years for me. And when Joe Biden comes in, 5 presidents. And it's not because of me, it's because of everything all of these people have done for Leslie Odom to be who he is today, and for me to be who I am, and for many of you to even be able to be watching this. So I need you. I tried to text Regina King. I haven't gotten her, but I need you to send a message to Regina. I need you on here, sister. She
She'll get
did
on.
the dang thing.
Yeah,
And you told me, you said that last half hour. I mean, that last hour. Yeah. and I was like, you had me crying. I was like, oh. And then when you, I don't want to give it away, but when you did a gulp before you did what you did, you ended it. You kind of, because that wasn't who you were. That wasn't who Sam Cooke was known for. But that's what he's known for now, because every time something happens, that's what you see and hear, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm not giving it away, guys, but you just got to watch it. But it made me also think about,
I'll tell you, so the One Night in Miami, because I saw some people asking, One Night in Miami will be in select theaters on Christmas Day. I saw it at at a drive-in theater. I'd never been to a drive-in before in my life, and I went to one.
Really?
Yeah, it was wonderful. But then if you also just want to see it in the comfort and privacy of your own home, it'll be on Amazon Prime on Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. Couldn't have something, you know, couldn't be more apropos. So MLK weekend at the top of next year. It's on Amazon Prime.
So I was going to get to that, but thank you.
Sorry, no. Dude, you don't even got to worry about that. I got that.
I was building it up. But everybody, and this is important, guys. You have to, when we hear about these stories, these movies and these plays and all sorts of things, you got to hype it up, because they're not going to do it. We got to hype it up, and we got to show, because the more we hype it up, the more we get to see things like that from Regina King and from Leslie Odom. And I was joking with Leslie. I said, "Dag," I said, all you do is play these historic characters that give us strength, and I love it. But you know, you've done more. You've done more than that, and you are everything. You've been in TV. You've been on Broadway. You sing. And for those of you who don't know, he's got he's got a couple of albums out, and that one song is "I Know." Oh my God, that is my song. That album, my kids were like, "Mommy, this is Leslie Odom." I fell in love with that song. I fell in love with you before you even knew who. Well, you might know me, but I fell in love with you.
I know you, and I appreciate that. That means everything.
So now, okay, so in January, from January to February, and you said that was really fast because you guys knew it was coming, right?
Yeah.
You knew COVID was coming. You did the movie.
Well,
fast,
no,
right?
no, we didn't know the COVID was coming. I just think that once COVID hit and shut everything down, they just really went in the editing bay and really tried to move as quickly as they could to get the film out this year. Not unlike Hamilton did. You know, Hamilton was not supposed to come out until next year. But in the middle of everything, you know, we just bit things. While some things get put on the back burner, some things have gotten fast tracked because they're like, people need this right now. Let's get this to the people as fast as we can. So that's,
well, you would think, right, in a moment of racial reckoning and when the nation is going through all this, and then we're sitting home, people are pushing stuff out.
Yeah.
I mean, especially now, you know, Broadway is dark. You know, a lot of theaters are dark. And so now we're streaming. So talk to me about that. How has it inhibited you right now? Because after that, you had to go into your creative mode because around March, April, we started shutting things down and you started writing a Christmas album and singing a Christmas album.
I was on tour. I was on tour for my last album. I was supposed to be on my very first major North American tour for this album that I put out, Mr. And it got shut down. So and I was looking forward to that tour because I had spent so long writing that album and putting it together. And I was really interested in growing as an artist and using my resources and the musicians to finish that tour as like a more well-rounded artist, a more confident artist. And when that got canceled, after a few months, we just took the energy that we were going to put on that tour and we put it into this Christmas album. And we tried to imagine what people might be in need of spiritually this holiday season at the end of a year like no other. We just tried to imagine what are people going to need right now? What can we offer? And I know it's in the marketplace. I know my album is for sale, but I really wanted it to feel like a gift. I really hoped that this record would feel like a gift.
Well, your music is a gift. And like I said, you have such a distinctive voice, even though you're not letting us know that you're the mushroom on The Masked Singer. But your voice is so distinctive. It's so clean. But they've got to sign those things you cannot tell. But guys, do you think that he's the mushroom or the Masked Singer? Because I'm gonna go looking, and I know your voice, and I'm gonna text him like, that's you. If it's you, it's you. I'm like, and you be like, why do you think that? Why do you think that? I'm gonna say that's you.
All right.
People texting me. Let's see. We all want to hear. Well, we hear it. Let's go. Okay. All right.
Listen.
So
All I want y'all to do is when we get off this Zoom, when we get off our Instagram Live, go stream. There's a song called Cold. It's me and Sia, international pop sensation Sia. Go stream that song. And then y'all let me know if you continue to think I'm the mushroom or the serpent. I'm not saying one way or the other. Just go stream the song.
Okay. So now here, everyone's asking. We want to hear the voice. Okay. So let's do from the Christmas album. I want you guys to go download it. I need you to download it. And he's doing Heaven and Earth, this song to his wife. It is beautiful. It makes you want to find somebody in love. I got somebody, but I got to pull them over here. I got to get them tested with COVID test first, But
this is my band. This is my band in the modern world.
Okay.
Let me see if
keep on singing. So somebody say, "Hey, Bird." No, this is Leslie Odom. He played.
Okay. Let me see if they're ready. My band ain't ready.
Battery 20%.
Come on, band. Don't act like that.
Oh, you got it. Okay. You got the echo. Okay.
You know what I
Nicolette's
mean?
iPhone disconnected.
Okay, here we go.
Nicolette's iPhone disconnected.
Come on.
Ready to pair.
Come on.
It's coming, guys. Just hold on.
How you gonna do me like
This
that?
is COVID conversation. Look, let me tell you something. I had Hillary and Bill Clinton on, and it took us forever to get on. It took 15 minutes. So don't worry about it. You good. You good.
Okay, good. Okay, here we go. So I'm not gonna do the whole joint. I'm not gonna bore y'all with the whole joint, but this is it's a Christmas album, but we still try to make it personal, because art is best when it's personal. So this is the most personal song on the record. It's a song called Heaven and Earth. I held a young woman. I hold you now. Love you from my soul, woman. Won't you bring us now? I saw an angel, and I broke down with no words. Tonight on this Christmas, love can move. Heaven and earth. Heaven and earth. Move heaven and earth. Heaven and earth. Things that I never truly understand. Oh, 'cause I saw an angel and I broke down with no words. Night on this Christmas, I saw love. I'll stop.
No,
Thank
you
God.
guys, you hit us. Come on now. And you hit the shades on.
Because it does, no, because it does a whole, it goes. But that's the song. I sound, crunchy right now. Go listen to the record version. The record version is way better. Yeah.
Guys, download it. iTunes, all that. Do whatever. Go buy it. It is amazing.
Yeah.
The album.
Yeah.
I mean, not just this album. If you want to do a Christmas holiday, do the last Christmas.
Yeah, you can get them all. Just add it to your. We hope that people have the thing about the holidays is people have traditions. They have my family does. They have a holiday playlist. Those albums that you pull out every year.
That's right.
So we just wanted to inject some new music into your yearly holiday tradition.
Right, and you know what? And you do "Oh Holy Night." That is my favorite song. Because just the spirituality of it.
Yeah.
And that song brings me to my knees. You, Patti LaBelle, that one. I mean, you do a lot of the old stuff. He does even Drummer Boy, Little Drummer Boy, guys.
Yeah.
So, my mother used to have those Nat King Cole and Johnny Mathis albums.
Yeah.
And it brings up nostalgia. And you have some of that. You bring the new and the old, the jazzy. I like all of that. And so, guys, if you want to know about Christmas, because my child is putting up the Christmas tree. I think it's all about gifts for her. She's got the Christmas tree going up now in the basement. I'm like, what is going on? And she's playing Leslie Odom. So if you want to be like Gracie, get your Christmas gift. Do it now, guys. Do it now. So Gracie has a question. Then she got to go. What do you have to add? Look at this. She's got, why does she have, it's Christmas and Halloween. I don't understand. Go ahead.
Love it.
Go ask the question, Gracie.
How do you find the words for your songs?
How do you find the words for your songs?
Some writers can do it all by themselves. Prince, Stevie, we have, legitimate geniuses that are part of this tradition. I ain't one of them. So for me, it is a collaboration. That song I wrote, I told you how it started, but I got with my boy, nephew Theron Feemster. I got with Raphael Casal, and I always have great friends, great collaborators who help me flush out my ideas. So I write down, like I said, I keep a journal all the time. I'm jotting down little phrases and little things that mean something to me, and then I offer them up to the brothers and to the sisters when we sit down for a writing session and we flush these ideas out.
Well, thank you, Gracie, and thank you for answering my little angel. So the industry right now is in a state of flux, trying to figure out what we're gonna do, because this is gonna be here for even though Pfizer and some other people may have something, it's gonna take a minute for the vaccines. What are you hearing about the industry? Broadway is dark.
Yeah.
Broadway is dark. Movie theaters.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing, obviously, to say you probably know more than I do, but things are shut down, especially theater. But the thing about creatives is that creatives create, they get creative, they innovate, and they figure out ways to touch people and to make their work. It's what I've done. It's what I'm going to continue to do. What choice do we have?
Right. We got to keep moving.
We rise to meet the moment. That's what we want to show our kids. That's what we want to show these young people, that like we will figure it out. So that's what we're doing.
So you got a baby coming, and it's time. Has this been the longest you guys have been hunkered down? Because both of you are in the entertainment industry. And I mean,
Yeah.
it's just been because, and you got a kid, you got a wife, and you got a baby coming. And I look at it as a blessing because my oldest is going to college next year. I said, okay, it's bonding time before you go away because she may
Yeah.
never come back. So, I mean, how is that? I know I'm serious because she said, I'm not coming back. I'm like, bye. So anyway,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
no, this is the longest time that I've been home with my 3-year-old, 3.5-year-old since she's been born. So as challenging as this time has been, and as much um, adversity as this year has thrown us, there's been beauty too, and
yeah.
there has been creation, and there has been growth, and all that stuff, for everybody. So it's like it hasn't been all bad. Um,
But for a lot of us and people in entertainment, this has been the Job moment. A lot of people aren't working. You are one of those people. Shoot, we saw you during the summer. You're featured on Disney Plus. You're in this great movie coming up. We're watching you on Harriet. We can still pull that up. Doing great work in Harriet. And then you've got this Christmas song. A lot of people are not working like
I
you are
know,
in the
no,
industry.
I know, and my heart goes out, and I don't count myself out of that story at all. My grandmother always used to talk to me about. My grandmother was great about saving money. My grandmother and my grandfather. And we've been pretty good about saving. Not like, my grandmother really was